This is the first of 3 videos where I'm going to show you 3 different ways to build an audience across Facebook. This is outside of the general interest or behavioral targeting. These audiences are far more defined. They rely on people who already know about your business or people who have an affinity towards your business. And the first one, this video is going to be how we build a lookalike audience based on your pixel that should be installed on your website. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to come to business.facebook.com. You should have a business manager already set up, especially if you're watching this type of video. Would assume that you have functioning business and a Facebook pixel installed on your website. So we're going to come over to audiences. And the first thing that we're going to do in this particular video is we're going to build a custom audience based off our website activity. So we come over to audiences and we're going to go create a custom audience. So there's a variety of sources that you can use. These ones called meta sources. This is more related to ads that you're running. What we're going to be focusing on is website. In the next video, I will show you how to create a lookalike audience based off your customer list, and then I'll go through these ones in the third part. So let's start with website, and then that's going to give you the ability to bring up your source. So for this particular one, your source should be whatever you've named your Facebook pixel that you've embedded on your website. So for example, we're going to use pixel 1. And we're going to make sure that it's anyone who's visited our site within the past 30 days. So we'll call it web visitors past 30, and then you can just give that a description if you need it to make more sense on your side. Website. Now this will update the audience dynamically. So anyone who comes in within that 30-day period, that's going to be a rolling 30-day period. So say someone's visited your website 31 days ago, they will then fall out of that pool. So it will continue to update itself, which is a really good feature. Then you just want to hit create audience. So that's now created a custom audience. What we then want to do is build a lookalike audience. So how a lookalike audience works is Facebook monitors and maps every single thing that you do while on their platform, and they have their pixels embedded on millions, if not billions of websites across the internet. When you leave Facebook and you're on a website that has a tracking pixel, that's then feeding information back to Facebook about what you've done while on that website. So they have a very deep understanding of who you are, what your interests are, and everything that you're doing on the internet. So those data points that they're continually tracking and updating will allow them to feed your audience the best types of advertisements. So we're going to go create a lookalike audience. Now you have this thing down here from 0 to 10%. So we're going to create 6 lookalike audiences for the purposes of this example. The way that I like to do it is I'll go 2 percentage points between them up to 4%. So I'll go 0 to 1 is the 1%, 1 to 2 is 1%, 2 to 4, then 4 to 5, 6 to 8. And that gives us, in my opinion, it gives me a more robust audience. And you have to use at least one country. So then we go create audience. Now you can see all of these ones here. This is our custom audience. So if we want to retarget visitors from our website, we would add this into our ad campaign as the audience. If we want to then expand it across our lookalike audiences, we can start adding these in. Now the recommendation is generally to have one ad set that will be using this data, then one using this, and so on and so forth. Now let me show you how this looks when we go to create an ad. So go into campaigns /ads manager. Now I've got this one here called dummy campaign. I use this just to kind of forecast audiences and things like that. So what we'll do is we'll create a new ad set. All right, so this is our audience down here. So what we're doing here is we're using the setup for this particular campaign is leads. And I think we've got this one set up as Messenger and Instagram conversations. But we can change that here, right? So let's say that we want our conversion location to be generating leads through our website. That's high enough up the funnel that the cost per click and cost per lead should be about as low as it gets there. But also running Instagram chats in Messenger are both really, really good low cost ways to generate leads, because as soon as someone inquires, you have a direct conversation happening with them, and you can have that conversation, you can sell to them. So that's a way around building your email list. At some point, it's always good to capture their email in case, say, your Facebook account goes down and you can't communicate with your leads there. Having your email your email list can be agnostic across any email platform. All you need is an email address and you can always communicate with those people. So we come down to Advantage Plus Audience. So this is where our custom audiences exist. So there you can see them all there. If you want to be quite meticulous about this, which is what I would recommend, you set up one ad set for each lookalike audience that you've built, so you can know which one of them is working most effectively. So for this example, we're just going to use the 1%. And you can see that saying here, you've selected a custom audience that we're still matching to profiles on Meta Technologies. Can take up to 3 days. So don't be impatient with this stuff. Let the audience creation process go through so that you can see what the audience size is going to be. Because you can see now, this is saying the audience size is below 1,000. That's just because it hasn't mapped it out across enough profiles. So what we'll actually do for this example is I'm going to use an audience that I know has already been built. So here we go. And we've got audience sizes here as well that you can see. So I've done, this is from a customer list and website visitors. So we've got an email list and we've got the website visitors. So this is exactly like what I've just showed you to set up. Now let's say we're going to use the 1%. We know that's 185,000 to 217,000. So this is just for the purposes of this example, so we don't have to wait 3 days. So then you just continue through the process. You'd create your ad and then you'd hit publish, and that's how you will now be targeting that particular audience. So that's it for part 1. You should now be able to create your audience and start generating new business. If you haven't set up your pixel, check out the video on screen and get yourself and your website set up for success. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, there's a link to my calendar with a quick survey to see if we're a good fit, and that's located in the description below. Part 2 is also on screen now, and this will show you how to create a different type of audience with a slightly different strategy. Thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please consider subscribing, please like the video, and if you think the content is valuable, please share it with someone that might be able to help.